Hello my dear friends, today let's bake apple pie. The ingredients you're gonna need for flour, butter, egg, sugar, some yeast, milk. The middle layer is gonna be apple, so you're gonna choose the sour and crispy apple, not too juicy. Then the last layer will be the crumble. You're gonna need more butter, sugar, flour, some salt. Last is a baking tray. Okay, let's make some bread dough. Alright, the butter now is in liquid form. I'm pouring the milk in. One egg. Mix well. Sugar, salt, yeast. Then bit by bit, I will add around half to 2/3 of the flour. Pretty. This is a bread dough. It's gonna be soft, very aromatic to cope with the sour apple and the crumble on the last layer. At this point, you are not needing any mixer. This could be done by hand. Scrape out any of the dry ingredients you can, and now it's turning into a dough that is very wet still, and then you're gonna leave it overnight or until it's double in size. This is the point you can relax and let the yeast does its work. To keep it from drying out, I'm gonna cover it with a foil. Double the size. My dough has doubled the size, as you can see. Normally it takes around 8 hours in room temperature in the winter time, but today I happen to cook a big pot of hot soup, and I'll put this hot soup into the oven together with the dough, so it has risen in only half of the time, so roughly around the whole afternoon, around 4 hours. So what I'll do is I'm gonna sprinkle the leftover flour and knead it into a non-sticking dough and put it onto my baking tray. So the goal is you want to knead the dough until it's no longer sticky in your hand. Look at this beautiful texture. It's now very fluffy and very easy to work on. And smell very, very lovely. So no trick here. All you have to do is just knead it until it's drier, and it's now very fluffy and soft. It's very easy to manipulate. We cannot decide exactly how much flour we are going to use. Just make sure that it's no longer too sticky, then that will work. As soon as you feel like it's going to tighten up, that means you should stop with adding the flour. Okay, so now the dough is full of yeast. It's really, really beautiful. That's it. All right. On the table is the last handful of flour, and the dough is pretty much ready. So I'm just gonna spread them and start rolling it into a right size for my baking tray. Very nice. Now this is a very tolerate dough, elastic and easy to manipulate. So what I'll do here is I'm going to save a small handful, half a fist of the dough, and I'll show you how I do this to fermentate the next pile of yeast dough. Okay, carry on. How are you going to make it round? It's more or less easy. This thicker edge, carry on. Thicker edge, carry on, and eventually it turns into a reasonable round shape. It doesn't have to be perfect on the edges, even though I just pull out a small piece away. Nobody will see it. Gradually make it even. Check it out if it's the right size. I'll get my baking tray and put it in. That fits. Now you wouldn't want it to be, if you can make it perfect, it's great, but this will cover the whole 5 apples. No one will see what's going on over there. So you just want to make sure it's more or less even on each side. That's it. To prevent it from getting dry, I'm gonna pop it back into the oven and put a glass of hot water to let it proof again. I really enjoy making yeast dough. This is what I'm going to show you with the leftover little piece of dough and what we can do with it. Let's say I'm going to eat pizza tomorrow, and I'm going to use very little yeast to create very elastic and tolerable yeast dough for the pizza. We would say it's just a demonstration. This is roughly around 1 cup of white flour, some drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, pinch of salt, roughly around half a cup of water. We will see. Now the pan I just used to proof the apple pie, so actually inside there is a lot of tiny little yeast that will help to rise up the dough. This is good. I'm gonna add bit by bit, so that it's around 50% to 60% of the water you want to add. Check this out. Relatively wet, and you won't be able to form it right now because it's so sticky, but here it goes. I'm adding in and mix it well and have it proof overnight until it's double the size the next day, and you're ready to work. Pizza for dinner. As easy as that. Alright, it's time to put all 3 layers together. As you can see, the bottom layer, this bread is beautifully risen. I am just going to poke slightly, let some air bubble out. Doesn't have to be perfect, like I said, because here is the apple that I peel, cored, and cut into thin slices. Spread them evenly. Now I apologize, the apples almost look like this. It stays a little bit brown after a while, but wouldn't matter. It all goes down to our own stomach. Okay. Second layer is done. Ooh, mouth-watering because it's really sour and crispy, which will be perfect balance with the crumble we are going to make. Now, this is the top layer. You're gonna see the ingredients. We got flour, a pinch of salt, sugar, and some chilled butter cubes. There's another ingredient, this is optional, which will be cinnamon powder, but it's not my best option in this dish, so I'm not going to put. And let's just mix it together. Crumbles now is well mixed. Spread it evenly onto the cake. And before I start the crumble, I already preheat the oven to 210 degrees. We are gonna bake it for 25 minutes or until the crumble is nicely golden brown. Let me break it a little bit. Very good. Even. Try to cover it so I don't want the apple to burn. Cool. 25 minutes. All right. Exactly 25 minutes later, straight out of the oven. I'm trying to break it. You're gonna leave it slightly cooler before you can cut, but let's at least see how it looks like. Oh, smoky. Crumbles. All right, see these 3 layers? This beautiful soft bread, apple, and the crumble. Let's wait another half an hour. I'll have the first piece. So I'll eat a piece for you. It's still lightly warm. This is the best time to eat, but you'll be surprised the next day. Normally the flavor will be a bit more intense, which is also very delicious. Yo! Will you look at the texture? Beautiful bread, sour apple, and crumble. This is really I really have a lot of I really want to say thank you for the friends who shared this recipe with me. This is a German lady who shared her family recipe to my friend, then my friend shared with me, and now I'm sharing this with you. but still crunchy. It's sour. Give it a try. And let me know how you like it. And big thanks for this beautiful traditional recipe. See you next time. Bye.